It's Hillary Mark from Easy 1013, and welcome to the London Run for Ovarian Cancer virtual celebration and, of course, fundraiser.
Hats off to Aaron and the entire staff who have done a great job of adapting, because normally from past years, we've met at Springbank Park and it's been a wonderful adventure of walking and running. But this year, still need the funds, so we thought, how do we possibly do something to make it still happen? And that's what we've done, right, Hillary?
Yeah, we're doing it all online. And then, of course, you can take your walk or run anytime this weekend. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We have an amazing 90 minutes of speeches, some beautiful performances by people who've been affected by ovarian cancer, as well as some local artists. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And the goal, of course, raising money for this important cause.
Yeah, we want to make sure that more than anything else, you take a moment as you're watching to click donate. Now, it may be that you're walking or running yourself over the weekend, or you can't, or you're at a distance watching. Who knows where you are, but maybe you can support someone locally, because here's what we do know. The funds are needed more than ever. With everything going on right now, if you hadn't noticed, this will probably reduce some government funding. We kind of need you to step up to the plate.
Yeah, ovarian cancer is considered one of the most serious forms of cancer that affects women, and often because it's not diagnosed until it's quite advanced, sort of ambiguous kind of symptoms.
Yeah, and there are so many women in our life that we care about, and it would be horrendous if we found out they were diagnosed. However, there's many people that are watching right now that are living with it, that are working through it, that are fighting it. Never, never, never give up. So for those people, that's the message. So today, let's find out a little bit about maybe what's been done so far and how you can help in the future. And then a part of this is going to be a bit of a celebration. In fact, Hillary, I didn't know how formal this should be. So I don't know if I should keep this hat on. I have a large head, so I had to cut the back of the hat. But just as a standby, I did have a tie. Does this necessitate a tie?
It really goes with the running jacket.
Does it with the running jacket? Okay, so I didn't know. I just thought, as we bring on our first guest, I felt like this gentleman deserved a tie.
Okay.
Just so we go here, it is a pleasure to be joined by Jim Olsen, who is the chair, the executive committee for the London Run for Ovarian Cancer. Welcome, and thanks for spending some time with us today, Jim.
Hello, nice to see your face today. So, how long have you been involved in this, and how are you managing?
Well, let me answer the how am I managing first, because that's specific to this year. I'm doing well. I live by myself like many other people, so it's sometimes lonely. But I have 2 dogs and 2 cats that keep me company, and they've been very helpful. I am fortunate enough to have 2 daughters and a total of 6 grandchildren, all of whom live in London. So I'm very lucky. But it's been hard not to be able to see them. That has been difficult.
Okay, so Jim, you and I share that we both live alone, and I joked with Hillary on the radio that I have had no human contact with anyone for a couple of months. I mean, like none, because that's the way it is right now.
It is crazy.
Who lives alone.
Yeah.
But whether you live alone and you have 0 contact, or like Hillary, you've joked that maybe you've had too much.
Oh yeah, the kids are a little much sometimes, absolutely.
But I would love to know, as we get back to this particular event, how did you personally, everyone's kind of got a little story, how did you get involved with the first run?
Okay, I became involved in 2009, and I joined the executive committee in 2011, and then I became the chair in 2013. So this is my 8th year as chair of the executive committee. I got involved because my wife, Mary, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, stage 3 ovarian cancer, in 2008. And over that winter, she learned about the run, and we joined in 2009 as participants. So the run became very important to Mary because it gave her a way to sort of fight against the disease that is such a difficult thing to deal with. She passed away, unfortunately, in 2013, so I have continued since then, partly in her honor and partly to protect women I love, including my daughters and my granddaughters and other women, friends and relatives. And So I think it's an important cause. So I'm still involved.
What kind of training does someone have to do to be involved in this run?
There's no training particularly necessary. Do you mean to be involved in the run itself? You mean the physical run?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that depends. Some people walk a 1 kilometer route. Yeah. And that includes many families, and it includes many of our survivors. And for our survivors, that can be a very significant accomplishment to walk for a kilometer. Then there are folks who run the 5 kilometer route. And we have some very serious runners and very fast runners, some of them, and they train a lot for the run. So if they want to. And then there's people like me. So I will walk or jog the 5 kilometer route. And I don't do a lot of training. I should probably be practicing speed dialing 911. So in case something happens to me out on the course all by myself. But you know, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a cool weekend. The serious runners won't mind that. It might be a little chilly for the rest of us, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be doing it on Sunday because that looks like the best day.
Yeah, you know what? But Jim, you make a really good point. Depending on mobility issues, and I know for a fact my mother, whom I believe is watching right now in Markham, which is why I'll behave. But she has limitations due to arthritis, and so Mom was the first one to get online yesterday and make a donation for whatever walk jog that I will do over this weekend. So there are different people in different ways. And just before we leave you to add a little something yourself, I just want to ask you, give us a sense of where the money goes. I mean, we're in a world where donate, but people want a sense of, okay, where's my buck going?
Absolutely. So the money that's raised by this run is used to fund a research laboratory, which is right here in London at the London Regional Cancer Clinic. It's called the Translational Ovarian Cancer Research Lab. And they're doing, you know, cutting edge research. It's very important for us to do research on ovarian cancer. It is the deadliest women's cancer. So only less than 40% of women who are diagnosed will survive for 5 years. And that's partly because the symptoms of ovarian cancer are ambiguous. Things like some bloating and some nausea, which are often attributed to other more benign causes. So the cancer may not be diagnosed until it's relatively advanced. And so therefore the prognosis is poor. So we need lots of research on ovarian cancer. As it stands currently, ovarian cancer research raises or receives about 2% of the total funds raised for cancer research. One of the reasons for that is that there are not a lot of survivors. That's one of the problems with ovarian cancer. So it falls to people like me and other members of the executive committee who are relatives or friends of a woman who has passed away to raise funds. And, you know, we're doing the best we can, but we need to do even better.
Yeah. And you know what? I got to be honest with you. I wish your wife was standing behind you right now. In fact, I'd rather be talking to her.
Probably would.
Don't be offended. Don't be offended. No, I mean, I'm putting a lightness on something that isn't light, but we need to do that to get and take a step forward. I'm going to leave you now because I know you have something a little more official that you wanted to kind of state for us.
Okay. Yes. Well, I wanted to do two things. One was to talk very briefly about the history of the run. It started in 2003 with a woman named Anne Crowley, who had been diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and she was shocked, as many women are, of the diagnosis, and she wanted to do something. So she and her friends and family set up the first run in 2003. And they raised $85,000, which was far more than they had expected to raise. Anne passed away later that same year, and her family and friends continued the run. And then gradually over the years, more and more people have become involved that have connections, personal connections to ovarian cancer. And the run has gotten bigger and bigger. And last year we raised $232,000. So it's really grown, and it's an exciting event, and Anne started it all. what I'd like to say on behalf of the executive committee is thank you. Thank you to our participants, our corporate sponsors, our volunteers, our donors who've supported us over, this is our 18th run over the last 17 years, and many are continuing with this virtual run in 2020, pardon me, as the 18th run. So thank you to all those who've been involved. We couldn't have raised the money that we have without their help. I also want to thank the executive committee who work about 6 months a year setting this run up. And so they do a tremendous amount of work, and I'm very grateful. Finally, I'd like to give sort of a shout out to women who are currently battling ovarian cancer and their friends and families. These women are the focus of our run. We are supporting research that has advanced treatments and led to longer lives, and will continue to do so. And the goal eventually is to cure ovarian cancer. The only way that'll happen is through research. It's got to be through research that we get the answers. So a special call out to those women. Each year, including this year, we give our survivors a teal scarf. Teal is the color of ovarian cancer. So we give them a teal scarf, which they wear as they walk or run the route. So this year, some of these survivors are going to be wearing these scarves and doing their route in their own neighborhood and hopefully sharing on social media, at least some. So people can go to hashtag RFOC together, so RFOC together, and they can look at some of these posts from survivors and other participants, and maybe give a call out or a word of encouragement to the women that are battling ovarian cancer. Finally, each year we honor both survivors who are battling the cancer now and the women we've lost. And this year, with this virtual run, what we have done is created a slideshow of some of these survivors and some of these women that we've lost. And so let's take a minute now to honor these very special women. No, that's actually painted by a relative of mine. It's actually an etching. It's which looks like sort of more
I
of a
couldn't tell if it was pencil. That's nice.
yeah.
Wow. Meaningful. Really meaningful. The slideshow and everything we just saw. I mean, that was, we're going to see a lot of that today. We're going to have a combination of things that maybe make you laugh, things that will entertain you, and things that are going to move your heart. And you know what? We need to do that because we need dollars, because we need your donations. That's what this is all about. This is, yes, it's a gathering of people that care about the fight against ovarian cancer. But I think, Hillary, you join me in the thought that more than anything else, we need to pony up and raise some bucks.
Jim, thanks so much for inspiring people watching today and for sharing your story. It was absolutely lovely to hear about all that's happening and all the people and all of the things that are being done to make this run happen.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Real pleasure to meet you. Real honor to meet you. And you know what? It's the people. It's the people. It's one thing to see stats, and we get stats all day. Hillary, you read stats on the news every day. But it's another thing to meet someone and find out about Jim and his late wife. That's when, I don't know, I get something in the pit of my stomach. So I know it's sounding a little telethon-like, because the normal goal, right, would be $250,000. We're now scrambling to go, come on, let's get some money, because our lives are on hold, diseases aren't, right?
You know what, Mark, I was thinking about this yesterday. A lot of the women in that slideshow are people's mothers, people's grandmothers, wives, and we're heading into Mother's Day weekend. And what a great opportunity. I mean, we're not going out and doing a lot of retail right now. What a great opportunity to make a donation in honor of the mother in your life.
Yeah, and that mom may not be the one that gave birth to you. That is to say, there are many women that step up to the plate that play the role of mom in whatever way that manifests itself, as a stepmom, or it could be just the person that has been pivotal in helping to raise you, the female role model. All of these women matter. This is who we celebrate this weekend.
Absolutely. Next up, we would like to introduce Dr. Trevor Shepard. Now, Dr. Shepard is one of the lead scientists at the Translational Ovarian Cancer Research Group at the London Regional Cancer Clinic. And this lab, wow, they do such great work there. It's the recipient of the money raised from the London Run for Ovarian Cancer. And it's focused on gaining a better understanding of ovarian cancer pathogenesis and working towards improving the lives of women who have ovarian cancer. We'd really love to welcome Dr. Trevor Shepard to the broadcast today. We're just waiting for him to join.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Trevor Shepard, co-lead scientist of the Translational Ovarian Cancer Research Program. I'd like to thank the Run for Ovarian Cancer organizers and the Hospital Foundation for giving me the opportunity to share with you some of the developments from our program over this past year. Although we had 2 students graduate with their master's degree last summer, we added 3 new graduate students, as well as a visiting MD student from the West China School of Medicine. We published 2 research papers, and during the COVID-19 lockdown, submitted 2 more that are in the final steps of revision. Also during this lockdown, my colleague and co-lead scientist, Dr. Gabe DiMattia, and his research associate are finishing up a paper characterizing new cell line models of a less common but very aggressive ovarian cancer called clear cell carcinoma. At the end of 2019, we were awarded a Catalyst grant with funds from the Run for Ovarian Cancer. This grant was written by me and my new PhD student, Matt Borelli, who holds the Karen Pooley Scholarship in Ovarian Cancer Research. His project will be studying how ovarian cancer cells reprogram themselves to handle energy balance, because we believe that energetic stress may be a new Achilles heel in ovarian cancer cells while they're spreading. This grant is critical because it will help us generate new data to support a larger grant to the Canadian Institutes for Health Research in the fall. Over the last couple of years, we have done a lot of work studying a stress response protein called LKB1 and how it may help ovarian cancer cells survive after chemotherapy and remain dormant. Working with the Drug Discovery Program at the Ontario Institute for Cancer Research, we have new molecules that will be used as chemical building blocks for a new inhibitor against LKB1 that may be effective in killing metastatic ovarian cancer. After lobbying the Canadian government for the last few years, there is a new funding program in partnership with Ovarian Cancer Canada. It is called Lead Action OVCAN, and its purpose is to help discover new anti-cancer drugs specific for ovarian cancer. This summer, I will be applying to this new grant opportunity to support the final development of a first LKB1 inhibitor. Although this lead action grant opportunity is great, the funds from the Run for Ovarian Cancer are still very important because most cancer research funding from provincial and national government and non-governmental agencies will likely be much lower than usual due to the COVID-19 crisis. The Run for Ovarian Cancer will help us continue to develop new projects, hire new trainees, and generate new results. And all of this will keep us productive and more competitive when we come out of this crisis. Even with this year's format of a virtual Run for Ovarian Cancer, we recognize and appreciate the tremendous support from the London and regional community. All of us in the Translational Ovarian Cancer Research Unit are anxious to get back into the lab and continue the work that we were doing just a few weeks ago. We will come out of this stronger and even more dedicated to our objective of doing the best ovarian cancer research so we can make a difference. In this fight, we are truly stronger together. Even though it's going to feel very different this year, I hope that you will still enjoy a great run or walk this weekend in support of the Run for Ovarian Cancer and our research program. Thank you, and stay safe.
You know, I can't lie to you. I was listening to that, Hillary, and I'm inspired because a lot of times when you donate, you don't know exactly who's taking the money, who's working on one. So Dr. Shepherd, thank you for that sort of update. Can't lie to you, when you're talking about papers and things that have been published, I don't necessarily understand it all, but I don't need to. But it's you know what I mean? Like, Hillary, maybe you understand it, but I'm going, wow. Like, it's just good to know that people are devoting so much time and effort to this cause for ovarian cancer.
Absolutely. It's when you're really thankful for all the smart people in the world who are taking care of us. Now, for most of you, this might be your first virtual walk or run. To be quite honest, I'm not a runner. So if I ran it, it would be my first run. But because of physical distancing, things are a little bit different this year. There are a couple of things we just want to remind you of, some basic rules to follow this weekend when you do your walk or run. A couple of those include staying at least 2 meters or 6 feet away from others. These are all the normal physical distancing rules.
Yeah, go across the street, right, to give other people space. I saw that actually happen today on the way home. Somebody who just went out of their way or went up. I guess it's better than going up on someone's lawn.
Right. You got to be polite about it, right? And of course, don't do your walk or run with anyone you don't live with right now. So for Mark, as you mentioned, you live alone, you're going to be doing this alone, but there's lots of ways you can get involved and participate as well. Yeah,
listen, I could use chat rooms. I could be chatting with someone. They could be walking in another city and I'm doing the walk going, where are you right now? So and we'll tell you later about some tools to track your walk or run, but it really isn't about overexerting yourself as much as it is about finding a great reason to raise funds so we can do more of the research we just heard about.
Yeah, and then sharing your walk or run helps raise awareness about the walk or run. Maybe we can get more people involved and raise more funds. So you can have friends and family join you through Skype, FaceTime, Google Hangouts. You can FaceTime while you're actually on your walk or run. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, you betcha. Okay, so there's a couple ways to get involved. You can take a picture of the video. We'd love to know what you're up to over the weekend. Post it to Facebook and Instagram. Please tag at Run for Ovarian Cancer and use the hashtag. And my mom who's watching right now is going, what hashtag? First of all, Mom, it's legal now, but it's not that kind of hashtag. Please hashtag RFOC together. Okay, exclamation point. Please use that hashtag. That way we can all see the great work that's being done.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you want to track it, there's apps to do that, right?
Yeah, if you're super savvy and you want to download Strava or Map My Run or the Nike Training Club, you can do all sorts of fun stuff. You can map your road out to draw little fun pictures, maybe a tulip for Mother's Day or something very festive. And if you're using Strava, there is a London Run for Ovarian Cancer Club that you can join.
Yeah, and by the way, normally I'm really jealous of those people because they're super fit and they zip right by me. This weekend, I admire them. So, especially if they can get some funds. I admire anyone that can do that. So thank you very much for your help in whatever way you're doing it. Okay, time to move on. And if you've just joined us, by the way, this is the virtual launch for the Ovarian Run Walk for Cancer for London. This is the way we're doing it this time around. You have the next couple of days to do it in your own way and show your support. Our next guest, really special. She's been gratefully thriving with ovarian cancer for 7 years. I am so looking forward to meeting her. Thanks to research and treatment at London Health Sciences Centre, is living a life beyond anything she had dared to dream. She's living the way I should be living, and she's got a big smile on her face. I can't wait. Please welcome, right now joining us is Jocelyn Rasmussen to share her story and a special performance with us. Welcome and hello.
Hello, and thank you.
Look at that beautiful smile and so much energy. It sounds like you're excited for this weekend.
I am. I'm excited and thrilled to be a part of it. It's really an honor.
Now, you have your own journey with ovarian cancer, and I hear you also have some special talents you're going to share. I cannot wait to hear more about your story.
Thank you. Thank you. I just think it's such a privilege to share the gratitude I have for the life that I've been allowed to live because of events like this and everyone who participates.
I'll let you continue telling us your journey.
All right. I will remember as long as I live waking up on May 28th, 2013. I looked out the window the way I always do to see what kind of day it was promising to be. And I heard myself say in this really calm, matter-of-fact voice, "Oh, I have cancer." And I was absolutely startled when I realized what I said because I couldn't remember what I was dreaming, and I had absolutely no reason to think I had any kind of illness, never mind cancer. But that's the thing about ovarian cancer, is it doesn't give you significant symptoms, at least not in the beginning. And so it's usually not detected until much later stages. And that's one of the reasons why it's so deadly. Now, of course, having cancer doesn't mean you're going to die, but it is the second leading cause of death in the world. So it's an option that a lot of us think about right away. And so my next thought was, I need a miracle. And I thought if it could be a spontaneous remission, that would be really great. That's what we always think of as a miracle. But then I realized I've had a number of family members treated for cancer, and many of them have lived decades afterwards. So I thought, well, if medical treatment's going to be my miracle, I could do that. And then I surprised myself by getting really calm and thinking, and if it was my time to go, I could accept that too. But what I felt really, really strongly is that if there was any love or grace that could come through my life, that I would like it to happen before I died. And in order to have that wish come true, I was going to need the gift of time. And time is what things like this run and people like you give to cancer patients like me. So the medical diagnosis came a couple months later. Ovarian cancer had in fact arrived as my next teacher. And I didn't seem to be having a spontaneous remission, so I dove into treatment. And this is just for me. But for me, I have to say that nothing about cancer has seemed like a mistake in my life. In a sort of magical way, every person on my care team has seemed like somebody I was destined to meet. It's as though we have these pieces of each other's lives that we were waiting for just this moment to share. I have a very compassionate and wise healer in Dr. Sugimoto, and an angel in my social worker, Heather Shattuck. And at a clinic that sometimes feels more like a temple to me than a hospital, I've received the most up-to-date care you can get. And every nurse, technician, administrative assistant, janitor, volunteer, they've all had pieces of my healing. And we've just had the most wonderful conversations about, work, relationships, our hopes and dreams, the world. And of course, we've talked about cancer too. And when my fellow patients have shared their sometimes terrible and always tender stories with me, they've become my heroes and my inspiration. They've helped me to keep my experience in perspective and to realize I haven't had it so bad. I did have to keep working through my treatment, but I didn't have to do things like work outdoor construction or clean houses. Teaching singing is a whole lot easier than that. But it was all of these encounters with caregivers and patients and all the people in my life, that has been the miracle that I asked for that morning when I asked for time. And it's been almost 7 years now that I have been living with cancer, and that's a lot of time. And I've come to think that time is the most precious thing that any of us has. But sometimes treatment doesn't give us so much time. Sometimes it just relieves symptoms and allows us to live into the fullness of our days. You know, people have sometimes said to me, why are we treating someone who might only have another 6 weeks to live? But I think we should think about that. When you give somebody 6 weeks to live, they might get to see their child start kindergarten or dance at their child's wedding or hold their first grandchild in their arms. A teenager might get to have her first kiss. And yes, teenage girls get ovarian cancer, and so do we little girls. And so whatever time we receive is very significant. And these experiences I'm talking about are important not just to those of us who are cancer patients. They're important to the people who love us. They are memories that they'll cherish long after we're gone. But the most important thing maybe is that from every extension of life, however short or small, we learn something more about the disease and how to treat it, because it is never twice the same. It happens uniquely in all of us. And the miracle is that any of us might live long enough to get into a clinical trial and be put on a drug that miraculously extends our life for years just when we thought everything was almost over. After my surgery and my first round of chemotherapy, I had 3 wonderful years. I published a book I had written. I recorded an album of my own songs that was used to raise money for ovarian cancer research and treatment. And I kept working. My studio grew and thrived, and I just didn't imagine that life could be any better. But then I started to get some unusual sensations in my abdomen, and even though I could hardly eat, I gained a ton of weight because of the fluid buildup in my body. Fortunately, I had genetic testing, so that when the chemotherapy helped but did not get rid of the cancer, I knew that I had the BRCA gene, and a drug that had just been in clinical trials here in London had been approved for the treatment of ovarian cancer in women with the BRCA gene. And I have been living for the last 3 years thanks to that drug. It gets better though. I persuaded my sisters to have genetic testing, and as it turned out, they both have the BRCA gene, and they elected to have their ovaries and fallopian tubes removed. And one of my sisters had a precancerous lesion on her left fallopian tube. So the testing and treatment that we are learning about is extending people's lives, even though we don't have diagnostic testing, even though we don't have a cure. People can be spared from this disease. It doesn't mean my sister won't at some point get some kind of cancer, but hopefully it'll be a kind that gives more symptoms and allows for better outcomes. Another thing that people sort of complain to me about is they feel like after all of this time and money that's been spent, there should be a cure for cancer. But I think they're overlooking all the progress we're making. They're also overlooking the fact that there are so many different kinds of cancer, and it has to be treated differently in every new situation. And also, cancer is a really, really smart disease. It learns from our treatments, and it evolves and it outgrows them. So until we achieve that miracle cure, and I promise you we all want one, those of us who are privileged to live with cancer as a chronic disease will very gratefully take that time. We'll celebrate every minute a new treatment gives us, and we'll live as creatively and meaningfully as we possibly can. In the last 3 years, I've continued teaching. I've written another book, and perhaps the loveliest thing that the gift of time has given me is a new boyfriend. A woman my age doesn't necessarily think love is coming again, and a woman my age with cancer definitely doesn't think it, but he's here, and he's lost his loves to cancer as well, so he drives every week from Collingwood down to Toronto to volunteer at Princess Margaret Cancer Clinic. And he's here supporting me, supporting all of us. And I just want to thank all of you for your gifts of time, awareness, and presence. We need all of those things as much as we need your money. And my heartfelt wish is that all of the gifts you are giving will be returned to you 1,000-fold. My wish is that you will continue to give when you can, and that you will receive when you must. I hope that you live with a great awareness of all the love and grace that is pouring through your life into our world, and that you have a sense of deep and abiding peace about the way your one unique and utterly precious life is unfolding. Today, you are my heroes and my inspiration, and I have a little song that I'm going to dedicate to each and every one of you as my thank you. What good are words I say to you? They can't convey to you what's in my heart. If you could hear instead the things I've left unsaid, time after time, I tell myself that I'm so lucky to be loving you. So lucky to be the one you run to keep in a world where dreams can still come true. I only know what I know. The passing years will show. You've kept my love so young, so true, and time after time I tell
how we're going to do this, Jocelyn, but I know Hillary's a hugger, and we need to give you a virtual hug right now.
Wish.
Yeah, can we figure out how to do that? Because first of all, how dare you? I did not know I would need Kleenex. But you know what? I think I was tearing up for loss, but I was tearing up for the happiness of the fact that you've had that 3 years, for the fact you've accomplished so much. And if anything, it makes me go, don't put things off. So thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. And what a great story about how the research and the medical advancements that are being made here in London are changing lives for people and giving people with ovarian cancer so much hope. So thank you so much for being a part of today and for sharing your story. It meant so much.
We've taken it up to stories like that have taken us up over $1,200 right now, but we're really sort of encouraging you, if you're watching, and listen, we're kind of just scrambling to try and make up for the fact we can't meet in Springbank Park, but Hillary and I are both thrilled to be here with Easy 1013, which is owned by Rogers. Hillary and I, it both matters to us to work for a company that cares. They're thrilled to present the virtual celebration to get you out walking, running, and raising money this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. As a proud Rogers media station, we're so happy to host this first ever kickoff for the run weekend. It's so wonderful to be a part of it.
Yeah, and not only do we work in the community, but it matters that we get back to the community. And certainly the London Health Sciences Centre has played an integral part in keeping the community's health and safety at heart. And we're so grateful to have the facility here.
Absolutely. And that's why participating in this weekend's run is so important. Helping raise funds for ovarian cancer research. Also, it means that we're directly helping improve the lives of women with ovarian cancer, giving them better outcomes. And we are so honored to be able to contribute to this really important cause.
Yeah, absolutely. So on behalf of all of us at Rogers, good luck to you if you're doing a virtual walk, run, stroll, saunter, skip. I don't know, shake your hips. If we can raise money, we're doing the right thing. So thank you.
Absolutely. We want to give you a virtual squeeze.
How do we? Okay.
So also, I want to give a big thank you to the current sponsors of the run. So London Run for Ovarian Cancer has had people support the event for years in the past, including Ellis Dawn, Scotiabank, Guest House on the Mount, Bazaar, Hemrick and Barnett, Trudell Medical, Harrison Pensa, Channer's Men's and Ladies Apparel, McFarland Rowlands Insurance Brokers, Sprite Associates, ZTR, and Canada Life.
Yeah, honestly, this is a neat event. I'll be the first to tell you the awkwardness of, for Hillary and I, that you're used to, first of all, talking on the radio. I've been told I have a face for radio. But also just being able to come on here and try and drive home the message that cancer is affecting us all. Certainly my grandfather, my late grandmother at one point too. And she made a good point about the fact that the way research is, you know what, my grandfather would have lived, I believe it, a lot longer had we had the research that we have today. So every little bit matters. So please click the donate button. That's where I'm going with this. Don't make me get cranky. Don't make me get cranky.
Well, you heard Jocelyn's story and how much that research is really changing things and outcomes for people. And so far, this event has raised over $2.4 million. It's the 18th year. That's a huge deal. So even despite the current situation, we got to keep this going. We got to keep the momentum. It helped establish the Translational Ovarian Cancer Research Program at London Health Sciences. And that program has done so much.
Yeah, and I think Hillary joins me when I say that we want all cancers, irregardless of what gender they affect, to be eradicated and to find a cure. But we need to just chip away at it bit by bit. And that's why this weekend, the focus, ovarian cancer. In fact, let's take a moment here to look at some of the photos of some of the important women who have put up the fight, who continue to put up the fight, and I hope will inspire you to make a donation. Fantastic. Fantastic, meaningful, because you know what, as soon as you put faces to situations, it becomes so much different. It's not just numbers anymore.
Absolutely. Really, really very touching. Just want to let you know, we have had a couple of other donations. Kathy and Jan, they just donated $100. Thank you so much for that. Let's keep that money coming in.
I think you found those photos probably as touching as I did, Hillary.
Oh my gosh, it really does. It is absolutely lovely. Because yes, we are remembering people who are no longer with us, but also the hope for the people who are.
Yeah, so to date, we have raised a total of $2.4 million, which is just not a comprehensive number until you think about the way that in different ways it's been able to help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, moving forward, we have another performance on the way. Very, very exciting.
You betcha. Now, if you're able, by the way, first consider donating. Click on the donate thing at any point during this. Don't have to wait till the very end. At any point, you're welcome to donate. Help the Translational Ovarian Cancer Research Unit continue their essential research. Okay, we're excited to bring on our next guest. I'm excited to see what her living room looks like. That's
Absolutely.
part of it. We get to snoop in people's houses. Who's kidding who? Please welcome a 23-year-old. My mother's thrilled to see people's houses. A 23-year-old singer-songwriter and producer from Ottawa, Canada, Severia, is joining us. And there you are.
Hello.
And so Jocelyn keeps a keyboard in front of her. And do you always keep a guitar with you?
Yeah, it's my best friend.
You're known for making several radio and television appearances. And Hillary, we know her well from some of the talent shows.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody got a little piece of you and got fired up for you here in London recently on American Idol.
Oh, that's so sweet. Aw.
We
Was
just
it under-
are huge fans.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, we're thrilled that you've been able to take some time for this too. And because, we're hearing from people from different aspects of life, people that are healthy, people that have known someone. Everyone has some deep connection to wanting to help out. So just for you personally, when you hear about an event like this, when you're invited to participate, what goes through your mind?
Well, specifically, my aunt actually passed away from ovarian cancer. So this to me is really just rooted in my heart. I really want to help out with this event. So yeah, it's just very close to my heart. As soon as I was asked, I was like, I have to do this, for my aunt. So.
Music can do so much. It can help us heal. It can keep us strong. What is it that you find music does for you?
Well, music is just a therapeutic thing for me, really. No matter how I'm feeling, especially when I'm at my low points and I'm struggling a lot with my mental health, I always look to my guitar. I always look to writing. So it's very therapeutic. It helps me through a lot of even good times too. I love writing happy songs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just a, sappy, sad songwriter, but yeah, it's just always there for me. So.
Severia, especially right now, I think music is playing a bigger role than ever before for people that are hunkered down at home. And certainly Hillary and I, we spend our morning playing music for people. But what is it about a song, you tell me, that allows us to get through tough times? Happy times, but also tough times.
Yeah, it's just the deep-rooted message that's within the song, I believe that, music, it really, really elevates. It can elevate our emotions. It can really bring us to a point where we remember certain things in our lifetime. And I think it's really important that we listen to music throughout this time, especially through any really hard time, because it's just like having a friend that's with you, someone that you can talk to almost, or like a family member or something like that. It's just, especially for me, like I'm just always listening to music, even, through COVID, through bad times, through good times. So it's just something that can, really, really help you and be there as a friend.
Well, we can't wait to hear your performance. Just before we go to Sverre's performance, I want to send out some special thank yous. Tracy and Will, they donated $50. Charlotte Hassan, $25. The Scanlons, $50. Keep those donations coming in. The donate button is right there on the screen while you're enjoying Sverre's awesome music. Take it away.
Thanks, guys. This first one is called Sunny Day. I open my eyes, I look to the sky. Oh, it's a sunny day. The world is looking so bright. What a surprise. Oh, it's a sunny day. Oh, 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 oh. Give me, give me, give me, give me what I want. I want sunshine, sunshine. Give me, give me, give me. It's been so long. I want sunshine, 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 sunshine. I'm feeling so free, like a summer breeze. Oh, it must be magic. I forget all my plans, with toes in the sand. I just can't help it. Oh, 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 oh. Give me, give me, give me what I want. I want sunshine, sunshine. Give me, give me, give me. It's been so long. I want sunshine, sunshine. Yeah. Ooh. Sunshine, two of a kind, like bluebirds singing out a simple tune. If you don't mind, it's the perfect kind of day to fall in love with you. Oh, give me, give me, give me what I want. I want sunshine. Give me, give me, give me what I want. I want sunshine, sunshine. Give me, give me, give me. It's been so long. I want sunshine, sunshine. Sunshine, 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 sunshine. Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. And you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. Silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll All we need is hope, but that we have each other. But that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, yeah, yeah. We will rise up, and I'll rise up, rise like a day. We'll rise up, rise unafraid. We'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. We'll rise up, rise unafraid. We'll rise up, in spite of it. We'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, oh, we'll rise up again. We will rise up. We will rise up. Yeah. Just a reminder to make sure that you're putting in your donations. All the funds are going towards ovarian cancer. The goal today is $5,000, as you probably heard. So anything that you can offer will make a huge difference, and it's much appreciated. This next one, I'm sure you'll know. It's called Fight Song. Here we go. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream them aloud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright, so my power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. They'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. I'm in too deep. Say I'm in too deep. It's been 2 years, I miss my home. There's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, still believe. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright, so my power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. They'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song, take back my life song, prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on, starting right now, I'll be strong. They'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of fight left in me. 'Cause I still got a lot of fight left in me.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would have voted for you had I been a judge back then. I just want you to know that.
You could take Lionel Richie's place. I couldn't even say
I'm
his
gonna spin
name.
my chair around. Pretend I'm on The Voice and I'll spin my chair around. You would have gotten my vote. Listen, Severia, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's talented individuals that are donating their time today. This is, if you're just joined us, this is the virtual kind of kickoff for a weekend where we hope you will walk or run. Of course, it's Mother's Day, but for all of the women in your life, ovarian cancer, that's where we want to raise the money. And we're doing exactly that. We're getting donations that are coming in throughout this afternoon. So thank you to Samuel Hassan, who donated $25. And we even have a new total.
Yeah, we're at $26.70. We, as Severia said, we're aiming for a total of around 5,000 online today. So keep those donations coming. We got to keep it going.
Yeah, I want to take a sec just to say, by the way, it is World Ovarian Cancer Day, which is an important day, certainly to think about those we've lost, those that are putting up the brave fight, like Jocelyn, whom we met, and also for you, for the women. It may seem odd coming from a guy that doesn't have ovaries. Yeah, big surprise. But also to let you know, it's about, detection. And Hillary, you talked to the fact that it's often a disease that isn't detected early. Signs and symptoms, common symptoms. Doesn't mean this is it, but common symptoms include bloating, eating complications, pain, and urinary symptoms. If those are prevalent, something to talk to the doctor about.
Absolutely. And it's time to get out and continue to support women who are going through this, and to support more research that's happening so that we can help women in the future and get that survival rate just so much higher. It needs to make way, and the money raised today is going to go towards research and making that happen for women. Now, getting out with the run, it's easy. You can sign up online, runforovariancancer.ca. While you're there, you can also track your run in a lot of cool ways.
Yeah, they've got apps like Strava, I should say. I think one of them is a sugar substitute. I think I got the wrong one. Map My Run, the Nike, is that Stravia? What is that? Nike Training Club. So there's a few ways for those that are taking their running serious, God bless you, to be able to track your run. So today is about performances. Today is about hearing from people that will be inspirational. And it is a pleasure to tell you and welcome Melissa Selmez, whose name I may be saying incorrectly. Please do tell me, Melissa. Melissa was just 31, a new mom when she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. She's very active in the run for ovarian cancer and was able to share her story at last year's event. We'd like to welcome her to join us.
Hi.
You're here. Hello there.
Hello, can you hear me good?
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, you
yes,
have a lovely living room.
Awesome, thank you.
Let me just start by saying I've realized that I really need to take some time and decorate, because you've got Hillary, you've got nice things on the wall. I'll work on that.
To be honest, I set it up knowing you would see behind me.
He actually went to go do it. Well, Melissa, we're really looking forward to hearing more about your story and your diagnosis, and inspiring people to really keep hitting that donate button. It's so important today, right?
Yes, absolutely. I thank you for having me here. This is a wonderful opportunity. I couldn't be more for this story and get the word out there.
Well, please take a moment to share your story with us so we can all learn from you.
Right. I'll take you back to the chapter of my story beginning in 2010. That was when I discovered I was pregnant. And at my 3-month ultrasound, it was confirmed that I had a small cyst. They monitored it over the pregnancy. And when I gave birth by C-section, the cyst had grown to be about an 18-pound tumor, and it engulfed my right ovary. They removed the tumor in the ovary, and my daughter was born perfectly healthy. The pathology came back for line abnormalities, but nothing to be worried about. It wasn't until the back pain, the weight loss, the bloating, the symptoms that we as women have learned to ignore every day. Those were the only warning signs of my ovarian cancer. In 2013, at the age of 31, I was officially diagnosed with a rare form of ovarian cancer called mucinous adenocarcinoma. I was told to get my affairs in order. Without treatment, I would be lucky to live a year. I underwent a full hysterectomy, but that surgery only removed about 10% of my disease. The disease had now engulfed my left ovary and spread to the outer surfaces of everything in my abdomen. I began chemotherapy, 2 drugs which had a 0% success rate for ovarian cancer. It was obvious that something needed to change. Awareness and funding was crucial. Then the researchers found a protein mutation in my cancer cells. That was rare for ovarian cancer, but common in breast cancer. There was a drug that showed great success at targeting these specific types of cancer cells called Herceptin. Just when my hope was restored, my doctor told me that unfortunately, this drug was not covered for ovarian cancer, and it came with a price tag of $7,180 every 3 weeks for upwards of the next 5 years of my life. My parents remortgaged their house. My friends withdrew all of their life savings and behind me paid the price that they put on my life. Once drug to show, the government stepped up and agreed to cover the cost under one condition: that I would receive a CT scan every 3 weeks to monitor. After 18 months, there was no signs of the cancer, but it was becoming more detrimental to my health to continue scanning me every 3 weeks. And without that condition being met, the government pulled the funding and the treatment was stopped. From that moment on, it was up to me and my medical team to keep my spirit alive, my cancer away. And the first time since my diagnosis, I wasn't scared. I had a team. Welch, my amazing oncologist, recognized the value and draw from other disciplines to help figure out this chronic disease. He worked with researchers and consulted with tumor boards, with a chiropractor, a naturopath, chemist, a nutritionist, an oncology esthetician. I used far-infrared heat, physiotherapy, and yoga. I found wellspring. I built a team. For the first time since my diagnosis, I had control over my life. There was no point worrying my holding, because that would only rob me of the joy in this moment. And I'm so thankful for so many moments I didn't think I would have. I walked my daughter to her first day of school. I saw great friends get married and babies be born. I've done things I could only dream about, like this moment right now. The first year I came out to the London Run for Ovarian Cancer back in 2013, I made a promise to myself that one day I would share my story on that stage and raise awareness about this silent killer. I achieved that goal last year and am grateful to have the opportunity to do so here again today. The feeling you get from an event like this is undeniably healing. First year I left being inspired by to keep going, to hang on for even just one more day because someone could find a cure. It gave me the strength and empowerment to take the control back over my life that cancer was trying to take away. But most of all, the London Run for Ovarian Cancer gave me hope. Hope that if I hung on for just one more year, I could be back at this event inspiring others to never give up. Hope, when you've been diagnosed with cancer, is priceless. So thank you. Thank you to my friends and family. Without your unconditional support, I couldn't have fought as hard as I did. I knew the first year when I barely walked across that finish line of the 1 kilometer with each of you by my side that I wasn't going to face cancer alone. My battle became yours. My passion for this race became your passion without hesitation. And I love how hard each one of you work every year to raise the funds and awareness needed to get ahead of this disease. Team Big Red, my army, my angels, just a group of friends that have been friends 25, came together and we bake thousands of cakes each year because it's just as important to them as it is to me to stop this silent killer. I couldn't be more proud, fortunate, and blessed to have friends fighting so hard to save one of their own. We promised each other many years ago that we'll together, and they're making sure that they're doing anything they can to see that I this promise. Thank you to all the doctors, the nurses, the researchers, and the lab technicians, the community it takes to stop cancer. I know that with the continued support for the London Run for Ovarian Cancer and that ongoing funding and the hard work that's being done in the Translational Ovarian Cancer Research Lab, that I have a plan B. I have a plan C for when I need it. I don't let the fear consume me today, knowing that whatever happens tomorrow, someone is trying to figure out a way to stop this disease. Thank you for leaving fear from the list of emotions that cancer amplifies. Thank you for spending your Mother's Day in our lives. Be proud. At an event like this, like the London Run for Ovarian Cancer, exists in your community. And when you leave here today, keep the conversation going about ovarian cancer. Continue to educate, raise awareness, and know that your efforts here today will positively impact the lives of our mothers, our daughters, and our friends. Ovarian cancer is so specific and unique to each individual, and that's why it's so important that we continue what Anne started here and raise the money and the awareness that the labs need and the research teams need so that they have access to those funds so they can develop treatment plans and combat each woman's case. This year, we need your help more than ever. Due to the current situation, we cannot gather together on Mother's Day, and although we wait, cancer does not. Every day, more and more women are being diagnosed with this deadly disease, and they need to know that they're not alone. Show them your support. Continue to contribute to the London Run for Ovarian Cancer and be part of the breakthroughs that are discovered here in London that are lives. I'm here for making new memories with my daughter every day because of people like you. I also want to thank the countless volunteers, everyone that works so hard every year to organize an event like this. Thank you. You make the circumstances to make sure that the researchers get the funding they need. Jim, Eugene, and Anne, of course, your passion continues to save the lives of so many, so thank you. Thank you to the staff, nurses, doctors, volunteers at LHSC and the London Region Cancer Program. Without you, we couldn't do this. And to my fellow survivors, thank you. Thank you for on even when it seems impossible. Know that with the funds raised at this event, you have a team working every day to discover how we beat ovarian cancer. We lost a hero in the ovarian recently who said, don't let this diagnosis be your destruction, but allow it to be your rebirth. Believe in yourself and believe that what you're doing will work. So live. The tragedy of life is not death, but what we let die inside of us while we live. Live every moment because no one's guaranteed tomorrow. Share your story. It's the only way to change the way we view and treat ovarian cancer. Only you have the power to say, this is not how my story will end. And as for my story after cancer, to be continued. Thank you, London. Even if we can't be together this Mother's Day, please join us. Walk, run 5 kilometers through our neighborhoods, our backyards, our streets, all in support of the London Run for Ovarian Cancer. Show the women in your life this Mother's Day just how much you care. And my story, I promise, will always be to be continued. Thank you.
Hey, Team Big Red. Team Big Red, thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you. Inspirational. You know what I've learned through all this is that people look totally healthy. This really is
Yes.
a silent thing that people go through. So thank you, Melissa. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you for doing this, and thank you for everything you guys do. Truly. Take care. Stay safe, everyone. See you on Mother's Day. See you next year.
Virtual hug. We're mastering this.
Virtual hug. I love you. Love the run for ovarian cancer. Keep supporting.
Okay, let's give women like Melissa more of those moments, more of those memories. Let's keep that money coming in, keep the donations coming in. That's what we're here for today. But we also have some more performances.
Yeah, but by the way, the donations, doesn't matter, big or small. Anything you can do is wonderful. So thank you, Len. Appreciate that $50. Karen, $25. Excelente. It's not the amount, it's that we all chip in. Let's get back to the performing fun.
So I feel like our next performer, I feel like I've known her since she was a kid. Because it's been a little while. She's not a kid anymore. She's like a full-grown adult. She is so talented. She was actually a Make-A-Wish kid. That's how we met at first. Hi, Serena. Welcome.
Hi. I'm at the party.
This is Serena Haggerty, and she is a local singer-songwriter, performer. Now she's in like music production. You got things going on, girl.
Yeah, I just graduated. I passed. Woo! Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to be part of this day, though. I love that story, and Severia sounded beautiful. So.
Well, as Melissa alluded to, it's what we do with the lives while we're living, right? It may not be physical death, but some people are just going through each day, not really appreciating what's going on until something like this happens. So you yourself, I could tell, you got the keyboard behind you, you got the guitar. You are using your time for good, and I want you to share it with us.
I've been sitting here. I just got a mic the other day too, so I've been doing a lot of music stuff, and I'm not bored anymore at home. So thank you.
Okay, so just one more reminder before Serena starts singing. It's going to be beautiful, by the way. Keep clicking that donate button. Serena, go for it.
Yes, thank you very much, Mark and Hillary, for the intro. You make me sound like a cool person. Okay, so this one's called Hey Ho, and everyone who's watching, please sing along. I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed. So show me friendly all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I went wrong, but I can write a song. Oh, I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. Oh, I belong with you. You belong with me, you're my sweetheart. I don't think you're right for him. Think of what it might have been if you took a bus to Chinatown. I'd be sitting on Canal and Mallory. She'd be sitting next to me. Oh, I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweetheart. Oh, I belong with you. You belong with me, you're my sweetheart. Love, we need it now. Let's hope for some console. We're bleeding now. I belong with you. You belong with me, you're my sweetheart. Oh, I belong with you. You belong with me, you're my sweetheart. been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed, sleeping in my bed. Yeah, so as Hillary said, I kind of met her through Make-A-Wish, and I'm a hospital ambassador as well, and a patient, I guess I could say. And I was a Wish kid as well, so I love donations to any organization. So please donate. You saw your goal is 5,000, and I say we just try and pass it today. So I'm all about passing the goal. So let's aim for 6,000. And don't let me down when you donate. So this one's called Don't Let Me Down by the Chainsmokers. Crashing, hit a wall. Right now I need a miracle. Hurry up now, I need a miracle. Strained in, reaching out. I call your name, but you're not around. I say your name, but you're not around. I need you, need you, need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. We're running out of time. I really thought you were on my side, and now there's nobody by my side. I need it, need it, need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. Don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind now. Oh, I think I'm losing my mind now. I need it, need it, need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. Don't let me, don't let me, don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, down, 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 down. Thank you for listening. Okay, I think I have one more, and you'll probably know this one. It's a cover of Fleetwood Mac, and it's called Dreams. So sing along to this one as well, and be sure. Let's pass our goal of 5,000, and let's do this. And please keep the numbers going up. They're well deserved, and yeah, it's worth the research and it's worth the run. So everyone enjoy the run, walk, skip, whatever you do. And it's sunny out there, but still stay warm. And thank you so much again, Mark and Hillary, and everyone who's putting on today. And this is called Dreams. happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. They say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You will know. Now here I go again to see my crystal visions. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams and have you any dreams you like to stream. Drink the loneliness like a heartbeat drives in my head, and the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Wonder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. They say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. You will know. You will know. You will know.
Yay.
So good.
Back. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Serena, thank you for your time. You're inspiring. Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
I feel like there's not enough people to applaud such a beautiful performance.
It's so out. First, I was like, oh, like I wonder how many people are watching. Like, you guys left me. Like, it's just me.
We didn't
Serena.
want to take away the attention, but Serena, your performance, it really inspired people.
Yeah, we're well over $3,000 right now. I know the goal's $5,000. Don't stop the donating, please. If you're watching, and I know everyone's in a different financial state, if you can help out, it's all going in the fight against ovarian cancer. Fighting any kind of cancer requires money, and we need that now more than ever. So thank you if you've been able to donate. Serena, you've inspired me just to carry a guitar on my lap, even though I don't really know how to play it. It just makes me look just
You can play. You can try and play, and Hillary will sing along. You got to
oh,
show.
she will certainly do something if I start playing.
Serena, thank you
People
so
donate.
much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy.
Bye.
Bye.
Want to do a bunch of shout outs before we move on to wrapping up today. Lorianne, a donation from her, Charlene, Angela and Chris Hassan, Megan, Catherine, and Karen Murray. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're moving on with the money, but now we just want to quickly remind you about rules. What's life without rules?
We're not going to see life without rules for a while. So these are important. They're the same ones we've been following, and you got to follow them this weekend for your virtual run or walk. So make sure 6 feet, that's your physical distancing length. Hockey stick.
Yeah, hockey, that's a good idea, or canoe paddle in my case. Cross the street to give other people space if you're going to be on the same path.
Yeah, if you're planning on doing the walk with other people, make sure they're people that you live with, not anyone out of your household. You got to keep it in your pod.
Sure, connect with friends, FaceTime, Google, go do a virtual walk while you're talking. It'll go by faster. You'll love it.
And make sure when you get home, you wash those hands.
That's true. And cough or sneeze into your elbow. Pretend you have an invisible cape like a superhero. Whatever it takes. Listen, now the only thing we really need is kind of a virtual warm-up, and we're thrilled that a real piece of London, because I believe it all started here, Good Life. We are thrilled to be joined by Mo Hagan, who is well known to her fans and followers, wearing a very colorful outfit. She's here to give us a little bit of a warm-up.
Hi everyone, my name is Mo Hagan, and I'm going to lead you through your warm-up, preparing you for this year's annual London Run for Ovarian Cancer. So to warm up, let's just start moving our legs with a nice light rebound. Shifting your hips, rocking one heel up, the other heel down. That just helps get the blood to circulate. And then from there, just shift into a side-to-side, gentle inner thigh stretch, shifting the hips back. Breathe in, lift your hands overhead, exhale, hand to support you. From here, stretch up, good work, and release. Down into your squat, just move your hips down and back. Just enough to, again, warm up your legs. And then from there, let's step into a nice, easy lateral body stretch. Breathe in, exhale, step across, switch sides. Good work. Dynamic calf stretch. Up and down with the back heel. Front knee remains slightly bent. Take an opportunity to hold here, stretch through the chest. Open the hips by pressing them forward. Stepping in halfway, sitting back into a hamstring stretch. Stay there as long as you need to. You can always take your time. These are great stretches to warm up with. And then switch sides. And of course, you can do almost the same thing. Follow this along as a nice recovery as well. Open your chest, shift your hips, just press them forward using your hands to assist. Step in, rock back into your hamstring stretch. Take your time here, go slow, find your balance, quad stretch. And then to finish, let's roll the shoulders. Couple big deep breaths in. Finish with a big left V for victory. Strong pose. Remember, you are strong, and this is your superhero pose. Believe in that. Have fun. Thanks for participating.
You're live. You're faking it.
Oh, am I giving it away that I'm faking it? Oh, this is how you Zoom do a physical workout.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mo, for the warm up. She should be proud of this. Thank you for the warm up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mo Hagan. That was so much fun. I know we're just about ready to go. Such a good warm up. Just want to wish everyone good luck on the run this weekend. Whenever you decide to take it, don't forget to hashtag us on the social media.
You betcha. Please do that. And you can do that in a couple of different ways. Tag at Run for Ovarian Cancer. Also, hashtag RFOC together. Now I can barely see. Okay, I'll be fine. And by the way, the donations can still come in, so please bring them in. We're about $3,600 right now. Marcia Haggerty donated $500. So thank you so much for that. That's all, every little bit. Doesn't have to be $500. If you can do that, fantastic.
One just came in, Lindsay Mance, $50. Great, let's keep it going. We're almost out of time here. Don't forget to sign up on Strava if you're one of those runners who's like serious and stuff.
Absolutely. Whether you're hardcore, whether you're supporting someone, whether you've lost someone to ovarian cancer, whether you've just received a diagnosis, whether someone in your family has, or you just want to see cancer end in all its forms, we all do. Please consider making a donation if you can afford it. And thank you for spending time with us. Now get out this weekend and do a virtual walk, run, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's Hillary and Mark from Easy 1013, Rogers radio station. We're really proud to be part of the broadcast today. And I know Rogers is really happy to support it. Let's raise some cash.
I'm working out.
Have a great afternoon and a happy Mother's Day, everyone.